game for C9.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back after game number 1 wrapped and in favor of 100 Thieves Academy. Jungle matchup was crucial, just like we expected going into this one. And XU, I want to get your initial thoughts on that one, because going into this one, you said that you had some expectations for how the jungle matchup would go. Did it play out how you expected?
A little bit. I think Kenvi really pushed his early advantage. Like, he found good opportunities in the early games, so that was really good. I think it was also like a little bit uncharacteristic of Malice to die in the situations, but I think he wasn't expecting to lose with the item advantage at the top fight. So yeah, it was well played by Kenvi though.
Yeah, Kenvi also pulling out the Kindred. There were 6 jungle bans, 3 from each side. We teased that maybe that would happen, but magical, it did actually come to fruition, and Kenvi goes back to Kindred, which he played a lot of last summer in Academy as well, and seemed to work pretty well against the farming style of Malice.
Well, because Kindred kind of wants to farm as well. They are more than happy with just getting some stacks, you know, here and there. Sure, got an influx of some kills early on into the game too, never hurts. But it was a good gameplay from Kenvi, especially early on. From there, I just didn't expect that it was going to be as close as it ended up being. Cloud9 really did keep it incredibly close, despite the fact that Kenvi had that massive early lead.
I just like the pick from Kenvi. Like, it's just something that is so historic for him. And yeah, like, Kindred does, you know, have some scaling. And of course, you know, you can stack up those marks, get really strong. But also, he's really good at invading and finding early skirmishes. And Kenvi was able to capitalize on that, snowball things from there. And things did get iffy in the mid game, but still, 100 Thieves, they made it work. Props to Gamsu and Jimmy and how they utilize those globals, semi-globals too. Round warps were really good at cheating tempo, making sure that 100 Thieves got some really good looks in that game.
Exactly. And we actually, I know that the two of you were chatting about the, you know, the between game segment. What do we call it? I like quarter time show. I think that gives the illusion that we are going to go to the full 5 games. Hopefully we do still here, as my prediction
That's
was.
That's why I have an objection to it, because it's not guaranteed that it's going to go to the game.
You know what? We can't know. We can't know the future, Magical, but we will call it the quarter time show for now. And we have a special one here that we like to call /tab. Ooh. And we have XU here to lead us in this one. The point of the game, we're going to run some replays from that last game, but there's a couple of words that XU cannot use to describe the play. Now, he'll have to find creative ways to describe them instead. You can use any words that are not player names, champion names, or like timers, like 17 minutes or 10 kills, things like that. You can't use numbers, you can't use player names, you can't use champion names. And then there'll be a couple words on the bottom of the screen that he cannot use as well. So XU, how confident are you? This is your first time doing this. You think you can pull this off?
I think I'm pretty confident. I think there's good ways to describe a lot of things that happen in League. So
I'm excited.
I'll be able to.
Glad one of us is confident.
I want to stretch your creativity. You'll have 3 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we can get through all of them. You can skip too. If you're stuck on one, you can say skip and we'll go to the next one. So first replay, casters, don't look at the screen. It's Scout's honor here. Let's roll the replay and you'll have a lower third here explaining the words that you cannot use. Play now.
Okay. There's an animal with a bow who just runs across some water. And
level 4 river kill.
Yeah, damn it.
They actually don't end up doing too much though. They just clear a ward.
The bot invade where they looked for at level 3. They looked to take the bot.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
next.
Keep going.
There you go. That's one. Next replay. Next replay. You got one on the board.
I'm Scout's
That
honor,
one was
guys.
tough. That one was tough. Yeah,
I can't see.
Oh yeah,
you can't see. Well, of course the casters can't see. You can't see it. So production will run the next one. That's one on the board for XU. Congratulations. Oh! They're actually covering their eyes.
Oh, okay. Well, this is another another one where that same wolf with a bow runs into a river. But this time,
4 kill.
They
All right. Yeah. Chronological. That helps.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so they got that one as well. 2 points on the board. I will say we didn't have the lower third up one. You weren't supposed to say river, but you didn't know, XU.
Yeah. The lower third was not.
Yeah, that's your teammate. You can't use player names.
True.
Yeah. Oh, true. There you go. All right, but now we'll play the next replay with the next lower third of the 5 words that you cannot use. So production, let's get that up on the screen here. I love how they're actually covering their eyes. So these are the words you cannot use. Explain it, XU.
Okay, this one.
You again.
The evil harbinger of doom got a little
Malice.
greedy.
Playing Karthus.
And had an unfortunate situation.
Bot crab. Died at bot crab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ding,
like level
ding,
6,
there
level
we
7.
go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Level 6, level
Close,
7.
I think close enough, right? Or
That's close enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
He
close enough.
explained it. He explained it. That's 3 points. Let's go to the next one now. We got to move quick. We're really stressing production here to get through these ones. The next replay.
oh,
Go
okay,
for it,
okay.
Dragon fight.
What?
Wait, is it?
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
I guess you can just do that.
You gotta make it not chronological next time.
All right, keep going.
I guess that
keep
works.
Magical, that's not fair. How did you...
Rift-tailed fight.
Dude, this
I
guy's
don't even know. We
guy's
haven't even
next
pulled it
level.
up yet. Magical's going too fast.
Rift-tailed
Let's
fight.
Oh, it's a similar situation where someone takes something very illegally.
Oh, Malice
the enemy
Dragon
team.
Steel. Fourth dragon.
Yeah.
Fourth
Yeah.
dragon.
There we go.
Yeah,
Fourth
yeah.
dragon. 5 up, 5 down, 5 points to the casters. Wow, they are blistering through this. I thought this was going to be way harder than it actually was. So let's go to the
I'm
next
just
one.
glad that
now.
we were paying attention in the last
Big
game.
brain.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's what this proves.
Big brain.
Ooh, this one is a
20
really
seconds left.
Rift-tailed fight.
no, it's
Rift
not
Herald is
that.
off
How
the
do I
map.
describe it? It's a situation that was really calculated, where one team gets away with a big advantage, despite the situation looking a little
is it
grim.
where C9 took the dragon and then 100 Thieves Baron or Realm Warp to Baron
Oh,
and
yeah,
took it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
And
you
then they
go.
lost one.
Congratulations. And ding, 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 that is time.
We can open
so,
our eyes now.
The 3 minutes are up. You can open your eyes.
You sure?
6 points.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
it.
Congratulations. You got 6.
did
I
it.
think there was only one more to go. I think that you got 6 out of 7. I believe we only had 7 total replays. So you almost got through the whole thing. Cubby, how are your eyes feeling?
Dilated.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't actually have to like cover your eyes the whole thing.
You
could
gotta
just
sell it.
minimize.
You know,
Yeah,
I
what do you
watched-
mean? What do you mean you don't have to cover your eyes?
I
That's the whole
watched
point of it.
Rufus yesterday take a smoothie to the face with cayenne pepper. You gotta sell it, you know.
And it being
Commit to the
green
bit.
too.
Commit to the bit. Well, thank you so much, Axie, for breaking all of those plays down for us. But I'm here that we're ready for a pick and ban for game number 2. So now it's time to pass it back over to Magical and Cubby to get us underway.
Thank you guys, and my eyes still hurt because it's bright
Yeah, a little
lights in
bit.
this room. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm excited for game 2 between 100 Thieves and Cloud9.
That was fun.
It was a fun game that
good
we
time.
played, but I also had a good time in the game itself. And looking at
think-
how that was, and
think-
Cubby, what were you gonna say?
I think the fans would rather have us get back in the game too.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's like
It's more fun
I'm
when
trying to
they
circle
play
it back there. Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
us playing.
Bada bing, bada boom, and we get back into game 2, and we talk about these. I don't know. I can't think of another rhyme.
Let's
Anyways.
hope the draft isn't poo. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
See?
Hey,
I had to
all
rhyme
right.
it,
Co-casters and co-caster synergy. But honestly, I'm not expecting too much difference when it comes to the first bans. And in fact, yep, look at that. Evelyn, Pekram, Graves, Lee Sin. Is it going to be Viego? Is it going to be Kindred? Not sure. I kind of expect the Kindred, to be honest. I think that Viego's not as scary as that Kindred.
Everyone just hates junglers, man. It's just a jungle diff. That's that's the
yeah.
logic. Oh, okay, we have a swap.
Oh, okay, leaving up the Viego.
So that's interesting too because Jinx, mind you, that was the opening pick for C9 in the last
Right.
game. So them taking that away, maybe they look to deny that Xayah Rakan. It's been so powerful for 100 Thieves Academy and the run. Wixie, he's 4-2 on it. Lucio's
There it is.
5-1 on the Rakan. They are going to deny that, so gonna throw a wrench in the plans. Try and switch things up for the bot lane here of 100 Thieves Academy.
Now we gotta look to see what they want to answer with that. Usually Misfortune Nautilus is actually something that we've been seeing a lot as a counter to the Xayah Rakan, because Xayah and Misfortune both going for more of the lethality damage build, plus the synergy that Nautilus has with knocking people up inside of that bullet time. We already get the Wixie 1, but now the 2 is what really is going to be the question mark here for Busio, what he wants to play outside of Rakan.
And
Whoa!
okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna blind Gamsu's top laner right now. I think
Or-
that's the case. I think so. I think the 100 Thieves. I mean, a big part of this is that they just want to make sure that Malice is going to be on that Karthus, not the Shyvana, because I have a feeling that the jungler that they might want, they really want to counter what Malice wants to do. Again, Kenvi in an earlier interview said what Malice does, he believes is predictable, and so if Kenvi has counter, he can predict what Malice does. That will
Okay.
hopefully push them over the edge, but. That's an interesting one. The Lucian being locked in. This is something that we expect Darshan and Copy to each be able to play.
Right.
So, of course, that is another 80 solo laner.
No
and
way.
We'll see how that pans out, as this has been a pick that Kenvi has played into the Karthus
is.
of Malice in the past. We'll see if this is the option. as this would be really all about the one item mid game spike. And
It is.
wow, okay, it's gonna be Kenvy's Kane.
That's why I was just waiting. I didn't want to get baited in by that. I know Kenby can play that, but yeah. And the fact that they chose a Rumble so early, I don't. Is there a possibility it gets flexed in mid lane?
Maybe. Jimmy hasn't played it, but we will see.
That's why I'm just so confused by this draft, where we see. I mean, both teams drawing the line of the sand, saying this is what we're going for early. Not getting the supports as I expected. The Rakan still available for the side of Cloud9, but same with the Nautilus for 100 Thieves.
Honestly, knowing how 100 Thieves likes to play too, I would not be surprised if Jimmy just blinds Rise here if they end up letting that, or blinds to the Blanc if they let that through either too. Because I think Busio having support counter again, maybe that's why, or you got to think about the Rakan when you see the Xayah. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out. I do think that Rakan, I love Xayah Rakan as a lane, but I really like Rakan when you can pop the quickness, use your E to piggyback on like a frontliner, and then grand entrance in. That is something that C9's lacking at the moment, any sort of frontline, because they have 3 very squishy characters, which honestly, for MF Rumble Kane, it looks like you could just feast on what C9 is showing right now if you were able to get any sort of lead early.
Interesting. Seeing that Gangplank banned away by the side of Cloud9.
I think it is a flex.
I was about to say, it makes it so that they are not exactly sold the fact that that is going to be Gomsu playing it in the top lane. 100 Thieves, they got a lot of time now to deal with if they want to grab that support. But this is a good one, too. It gives them a lot more of that pick potential, especially with the team. So there they go. They lock in Twisted Fate.
And I think this is going to be tricky now for C9, because I'm wondering if TF forces something like a Tom Kench out of Winsome. It's not the Xayah Rakan lane, but you look at the 3 champions that C9 is showing, any gold card that connects, that is an MF ult that can follow, that's a Rumble ult that can follow, let alone Kane, who can one-shot you on his own if he gets ahead, and goes for the blue Kane build, which we are expecting out of Kenvy. We'll see, but it will not be the Tom Kench, so no safety from the gold card from something like a TK. Of course, Xayah can go airborne, buy a little bit of time, buy some space, and usually plays rather far back with his poke build, so that is something where 100 Thieves could just be looking to use this to attack the top side too. Darshan, as his choice of pick, looking to be him defaulting to that Gnar, so that he has played extremely well across the split. He was 6-1 on the Gnar heading into this series between his lock-in play, academy play, and PG play. Now it's just all up to Busio. Again, them saving counterpick for their very talented mid-lane role swap to support. This guy is a mechanical monster. He loves to play Enchantresses. These are good into... Oh my goodness.
Is that a support Ornn?
I think it's support Rumble.
Yeah. Oh.
Rumble support from Busio.
What?
I love it.
Oh
I love
my
this.
god.
Okay. So I guess it's important the fact that I was highlighting the fact that Busio is a role swap.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Busio, so if you aren't familiar with Busio, we might be running this documentary piece we did a little bit earlier in the season later. He originally hit Challenger, I believe, at the age of 15. He was a Katarina one-trick, played mid. I know from talking with 100 Thieves as an organization going into 2021, he was their #1 choice as a mid laner and as a support. He has played Challenger, he has hit Challenger playing both roles throughout his career. He's even hit a high elo playing jungle too. This guy's just a monster on the Rift. He has really emerged as a really promising player in PG. We always knew that he had the mechanics, but he really feels like he is becoming comfortable in the support role. And I'm really curious to see how this support Rumble pans out, because this lane, it's got to be something they've crafted together.
Right.
And I know that Busio himself, he really looks up to Keria. The fact that, Keria is a player who really utilizes his elite mechanics at support to open up different picks. That's exactly what Busio is doing in this game with the Rakan, or with the Rumble into Rakan.
I was about to say, yeah.
I want to see if you can make this work. This is a really fun draft coming out of the side of 100 Thieves Academy.
What a way to go into game 2.
That totally threw me for a loop. I did not see the Rumble flex coming. You called it out like, could it be mid? And I was like, oh, baby.
That's why, mid lane. Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, this could be flex mid. It's got the options, but then they locked in the Twist of Fate. I'm like, all right, it's top lane. I was also thinking jungle flex, but not support.
If it was a Senna, then I'd be like, yeah, you can put Rumble bot. But no, this is a MF. So this is some interesting stuff coming out of 100 Thieves. I will still hold to the fact that looking at their team, I think that I like Ornn because I feel like the side of C9 is a little bit lower damage overall. If you are an Ornn, Gomsu's comfortable getting this out of the lane matchup. But still, if you're 100 Thieves, you're looking to hit this mid-game spike so hard. You have the Ornhorn, the Rumble ult, TF gold cards, and MF ult. All the AoE damage that this team has to try and dump onto C9 before they're already able to scale. It's going to be tough for C9 to navigate out of this.
God, what a game! I'm already so excited.
You're wild.
Everyone knows I love my off-meta picks, but it's not something that's a surprise to anybody. Who can be playing his classic Kayn, one of those comfort champions from way back in the day. We've seen it before here in Academy Split, but then Busio busting out that Rumble, really showing the mid laner turn support role, having that ability to play pretty much anything.
This is going to be wild. I really looking forward to seeing this one as at the moment, do have to take a brief pause. Do have a bit of a delay. We're trying to get into the game. Just building up the tension even more here at Magical before we get to see a support Rumble hit the Rift.
If this wins, I don't need. I'm literally lost for words here. But I'm just looking at this, and at first, I was with you looking at the composition drafted by 100 Thieves. There's the one item spikes, Kayn, Misfortune, the Rumble too. Get a lot more powerful once you get that Leandries. But now it's completely turned on its head. You've got an Ornn on the team. It's a support Rumble. You've got great pick potential from the Twisted Fate and Kayn. And then on the other side, there's still some elements of scaling. With the Karthus, you got Gnar for the split push if you want to. Same with side lane Lucian. But it's not quite as heavily indexed into that late game as it had priorly been for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have a Xayah Rakan instead of Jinx Tahm Kench, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
This is an interesting one, though, just because, when, you have a Rumble, you have an MF, it's all about those early team fights. And I want to see if 100 Thieves can find the windows and execute again, because it did feel like in the last game, a lot of the recipe for success that we've been seeing, it's funny, because I feel like a lot of the times these teams are similar and different. A lot of it's dictated by the jungle play, which, of course, we did hit on very heavily in the pre-show. But C9, they rely a lot on their solo laners to just be ahead or play their lanes correctly to protect Malice.
Mhm.
Whereas 100 Thieves, they rely on their solo laners to be ahead or, play their lanes correctly to enable Kenvi. And I feel like that's the real big difference between how these two teams play. The fact that Kenvi always looking to drop camps to make a play to help out his lanes, get himself ahead. Whereas Malice always looking for his lanes to kind of protect themselves so that he can get ahead and he can make good work from there.
Literally trying to see the last time Busio played Rumble on my second monitor, just because I want to see the last time we actually got to see this. Obviously, it would be a mid lane turn instead of being the support one that we have now. But it's none in 2021, none in 2022. I guess 2020. I got to look back to
For Rumble. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that Rumble Senna was played at one point. There is a marksman player who used to play marksman, now plays top lane for Illinois State University called Disconnector, now goes by Squilliam, and was notorious for playing Rumble bot for CLT Phoenix in 2020 Scouting Grounds. We're going way back. And if you are listening to this stream and somehow remember that team, it had Daption on it, who was also in ProvingGrounds. It had Captain Shrimps on it, I believe, who also played in PG last year, was in Scouting Grounds. Kind of it's a bit of a throwback, but I do remember Rumblebot being played then.
Okay. I mean, that's why I'm looking specifically for Busio. So I have found a timeline. The last time we've seen it in competitive was back in 2020.
Was it with Senna?
It wasn't. It was mid lane. It wasn't even bot lane.
Busio played mid.
Played it mid back on Polar Ace. So that's how long ago. Yeah. You have to think that was the first team he played with competitively. That's how long it's been since we've gotten to see this out of Busio. But now I hear we're getting ready to get onto the Rift for our second game in this best of 5. Cloud9 are down 0-1. 100 Thieves pulling out the spice for the second game, really to flex on their competition. Kenvi especially looking to see if he can get those solo kills on his former teammate in Copy. There's only one way to find out, Cubby. That is by getting onto the Rift for this second game and seeing how they bash heads and clash once more.
Very similar game plan for C9, just a couple different pieces. I think the Xayah Rakan gives the bot lane, or at least I think the idea of it is to give some more early power bot, maybe fight against some of the things that 100 Thieves Academy want to do. Whereas 100 Thieves Academy, I think it's all about playing around these gold cards and big ultimates We'll see how explosive they can make the game at level 6. You think of Hornhorn, you think of Rumble, you think of Bullet Time as well. I mean, these are humongous tools that Hunter Thieves can use to attack C9. We'll just have to see if they can make it work like they did in Game 1. Finding the right windows, finding the right timings to make sure they get that early lead and run from there.
And at the moment, it's so weird seeing the Rumble bot lane. We have nothing really too
He's got the right skin.
Oh yeah, no. I absolutely love it as well. It's just seeing him bot lane, I'm like, oh, is the jungle start? Because I'm so used to it from last year where it was Rumble jungle for quite some time. But I'm like, no, it's just support. We see here, it is going to be Kenvi starting on the top side. Or is he? Kind of pathing as though...
No, it's
probably chickens. Yeah. Okay, I thought for a second that he was about to leave and go to the bot lane. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
No, this is the Kayn start. And to be fair, we have seen Kennedy's Kayn a bit. I know he played it against Malice in their second meeting in Academy regular season into Malice's Karthus. They did not win that game.
Ooh.
They got smashed that game.
Yeah.
That is where the Malice Karthus clip emerged from, where he got 2 kills with 1 ultimate. But Kenvi does have 3 games on the Kayn. Did not find any wins, but did perform okay in some of those games in the Academy regular season. We'll have to see if this specialty pick of his can emerge victorious, as looks like Busio, no surprise there, going to be the Electric Harpoon being skilled up first.
Looking for that additional poke. I mean, see that from Wixia as well, both of them having that Arcane Comet to try to see if they can gain that upper hand over King and win some. Is going to be the more traditional Rakan start with going for Guardian, as you also have King on that Summon Area.
I do want to hit on Kenvi's path quickly, as he has gone to Raptors, Wolves, and then doing Blue Gromp at the same time. Malice, again, has been able to navigate himself away from Kenvi. So this will protect Malice on that first clear. Very important for the Karthus. These are the times where Karthus is vulnerable. He's actually a really strong skirmisher, but, you know, if any help comes his way to try and attack him in these early levels, it's tough. So the fact that Malice, again, getting a good early clear, I think it's good for him, but you can see Kenvi. He's rotating back over to that top side.
Exactly. I was about to say, look at how Kenvi is posturing. He's going to get red buff, and he actually will meet the same timer as Malice. Sure, Malice is going to full clear his own jungle a little bit before
It'll
that.
be level 4. Yeah.
But it will be a level 4 around that Scuttle Crab. Look how low Malice is. He has no way of contending against that.
Nah, he's fine. He's going to get a lot of health and mana back from the Gromp, and he will be up a level.
Compared to what Kenvi can do, though, that's the only problem I have.
Well, Kenvi's on the Krugs, so this Crab should go over to Malice.
Yep, it looks like it. A little bit behind the pace. So, yeah, Malice.
Hey,
Close that up.
camp.
Exactly. So he gets a little bit of a lead. He's even going for a slight invade onto Kenji. A bit suspicious there, as he's even pathing to look to see if he can hang around the top side.
Look at how aggressively Busio is playing this Rumble pick.
I love it.
Just continues to step up as Malice.
Oh, he has no idea.
I
They've
think
spotted
Hunter
him.
Thieves knows.
Yeah, they 100% do. They got the vision, they got the flash, they got the knockup on top. Malice with the damage coming through. Gamsu might die, but at least they got first blood for Kenvi 2 times in a row.
Bot lane, there's a kill too.
What?
We're going to have to take a second look at that, but that Rumble pick seems to be netting first blood for Hunter Thieves. Is that Cyricon, the specialty they've been playing for the majority of PG, going up against it? They had something ready, and it paid off early.
Wait, I gotta see that replay. I was so focused on the top side of the map.
Okay,
yeah, here we go. Okay.
Oh, the flash forward from Busio.
Wow.
Okay, that was nasty. He flashed onto King, knowing that was the only exit that Winsome had, and was able to melt him with the Ignite, the Electric Harpoons, and the double up from Wixie.
Wow.
As, again, this bot lane for
play.
Hunter Thieves, I think it's really, really important to talk about these guys, because of all the teams that we have left, this is the only bot lane that's a rookie. In fact, the other bot lanes that we had, I mean, you have Turtle Joey, Violet Shine. These guys have experience on the international stage. Yon A will play together last year. King Isles as well, until King Winsome, who was, of course, was still an LCS player for the vast majority of the split on C9 LCS. But Wixie Busio, it's their first split in Academy. They are stepping up so big. They've been consistent throughout the split. Some of the better performing members of Hunter Thieves Academy, and now stepping up in PG when it matters most. Good to see these rookies making the most out of this opportunity and really making their mark on this game.
Well, think about it. You had Busio part of 100 Thieves Next, the second class of 100 Thieves Next members last year, and then also Wixie being part of ProvingGrounds.
Wixie, I know, of course, from talking with Hunter Thieves too, Wixie really impressed people at scouting grounds with his team fighting. Of course, was in PG with Breezy and C9 Amateurs bot lane, someone that XU on our desk had experience with as well as Wixie.
Wixie.
Oh, he's got no songs.
Looks like we got Cast Curse on that
Hold
one.
on.
Nice kill, but yeah,
Not
Kenvy's
over.
nearby, and look at where Busio is too. Without the flash on both sides, they can easily chase this one down with a lot of damage on top of King. He's got no escape body block
he's
from the
melting.
electric harpoon, but they are melting to
Oh,
the
no.
flame spitter, and there's the flash in. Double kill
Kenvy.
for Kenvy.
Kenvy takes 2, and that's so many orbs for Kenvy, too. Of course, is going to try and go for that blue cane. I think the 2-for-1 under the turret, well worth it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wixie stepping up with no sums. That's a mistake. A good punish from C9, but 100 Thieves Academy, they get something back.
I love that. That is a great play from the side of Kenvy.
Oh, Malice has
3
6.
and 1. This is where Malice has to answer. Has to make play elsewhere, especially against a level 5, now level 6. Gomsu. Made up damage. Dive, though. Over aggressive. And look who's here. Jimmy is nearby. Gomsu outplaying the hell in that top lane. Darshan will fall. I think they even want to give that to Kenvy if they possibly can. But they can't let him escape that easily. Or can they? Right now, Darshan the flash away. No flash on the side of Jimmy. This might have been a bit aggressive from 100 Thieves, trying to let him get the kill on the side of Kenvy. There's only a little bit of damage, but Darshan will scurry his way out.
Okay, bit of greed from the side of 100 Thieves. Malice didn't even cast his ultimate there. Didn't think he'd be able to take down Gomsu. And what a turnaround. We did talk about how explosive 100 Thieves can be at level 6 man magical. Jimmy, once they hit 6, was able to go in fact topper and go back to this bot lane play. Again, taking a second look. Wixie shouldn't be hitting the wave without his support around. Good wait, be a little bit more patient. A little bit of a rookie mistake coming out of Wixie, but hey, at least 100 Thieves Academy, they were able to turn around and look at all the damage coming out of the support Rumble Man Magical. That's something that not every sport can do.
No, not at all. And right there, sure, Kenvy will
Some of the
eventually
perks.
fall. We got to take a look at the replay because he died, and he was able to show back up the top lane from the botched dive from Cloud9.
We're getting the long replay as, of course, Gomsu being able to net level 6 just at the right time. That saves him, enables 100 Thieves to turn around this play as Jimmy trying to be a good teammate here. It didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, I respect it. They want to really get that Kane snowballing out
Trying to
of
help his
control.
buddy, you know?
Exactly. And sometimes you just got to take the kill. Sometimes it's better to get the kill than not get the kill at all. So, right there, Darshan.
Mad Magical, confirmed bloodthirsty support.
Of course I am. I get all the... The rule is that ADC gets the farm, the support gets the kills. This is how I always play.
All right, it's a good thing that they don't post caster ranks next to our Twitter tag. We'd both be hurting for many reasons. But anyway, moving
This
forward.
is why I play Vigar and Brand, my dude.
There we go. All right, that is actually a good reason to take the kills. Speaking of things being taken, we do have Malice taking down the dragon. First dragon of the game going over. Some of the consequences can be dying to that turret and all the plays that happened on the top side. I'm curious to see, though, if 100 Thieves can take down this Rift Herald, as I think that Rift has been a really important thing for C9, just how they want to play, controlling these solo lanes. If you can take this away from them, you can utilize it to maybe get some plates on your bot lane. This MF could be big, but meanwhile, Kenvy.
Ow. His former teammate. Oh, Coffee. It looks like you're dead. Kenvy, he shows up.
The early Prowler's Claw for Kenvy, he makes it work already. That is a filthy mythic item timer, Mad Max.
Yeah.
He came out of the base for that
then
at
that happened.
8:30. My goodness.
Yeah, I had no time to talk about it. He just went and killed his former teammate and said, hello, I'm fed.
Hello, my name's Kenvy, and I have gold. As, Busio.
Okay, Busio, lots there on a King on the other side. Won't actually be able to pick up the kill, though.
Interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly they want to use this Rumble on that lane. I can see it, it gets a lot of pressure in the lane
I have an
phase.
idea. An idea. It is literally, remember I was talking about Nautilus? It has pretty good synergy with Misfortune because you keep people inside
Yeah, you set up the
time.
bullet time.
Same thing. Same thing here with the Equalizer. It slows them down immensely. And imagine an Equalizer bullet time wombo combo damage.
Oh boy. Kenvy has the blue cane. He has been
missed.
spotted.
He missed, though. Missed that reap. So goes back.
But he has the evolve. And I mean, this is so big for Kane. We've seen some Kanes play competitively, not get evolved till 15, 16 minutes, but given this explosive early game for 100 Thieves
Copy,
Academy.
he's got 4 kills, and it's only 10 minutes into the game. Of course he's going to be evolved.
Yeah, of course he's evolved. He's gotten the right orbs in the bot lane as Kenvy just able to power farm his camps now. We'll move on to this Rift Herald. Talk about how important this was for C9, how I wanted to see 100 Thieves utilize some of the early power they have, take this away from C9. Kenvy will clean up his camps and do just that.
God, right now, this is just looking so dire for the side of Cloud9, and the gold is nearly even between the two teams. That's what's even weirder, is to say this game just seems so heavily favored. 100 Thieves, the bot lane, working out well. You already have a lot of rotation from Jimmy, utilizing that Destiny Gate to try to see if you can make plays elsewhere. Kenvy, 4-1 with the Rift World in tow. this is just all right now perfect setup beside of 100 Thieves.
And honestly, the thing to really look for here is where does Kenby go, and where does Jimmy
Anywhere.
follow? Because
Anywhere.
Jimmy does have the port. He is ready. We do have Busio hovering around mid at the moment, along with Winsome. So we'll see if Jimmy can actually get out of the lane phase here, because he has that second ult ready to go. Made a big impact with the first, and there is this small window where Darshan doesn't have flash. Jimmy's heading up here.
Oh, he definitely saw.
Yeah, Darshan,
Right? Yeah, he saw.
he's feeling this one out.
No. He definitely saw. He's wise. Look how far back he's playing. He even tried to bait in Gamsu underneath the turret with Mal nearby. But Gamsu's wise to it too. Yeah, like, probably had vision or probably saw something that gave him the inclination that we're topside. So let's back off.
And hey, also, props to Malice. Him being there on the hover, him did help make sure that, that was a bait. 100 Thieves don't fall for it, but I think that would have been a good setup, trying to fight under that turret, even if it was a 2v3. Of course, if Karthus goes down, he'll put down a ton of damage under a turret, given utilizing his passive. Definitely something that, takes skill as a Karthus player, when and where to die. That is something that's important for Karthus.
I like that wall torment right there out of Malice. Spots out Envy, looking for the play on copy 1-4.
Yeah, and we do have a second dragon coming up, and we'll see if C9 end up pressing for this. I still think this is a very powerful point of the game for 100 Thieves. You have the Rumble ult, you have the MF ult, Kenvy's ahead on the Kane. If C9 want to start this could be tough.
Well, they've also got the items they need to, those early spikes out of Misfortune and Kane. They're in a really good position to punish Cloud9 before they can actually really come online, even if it's equated by a Mythic on the other side.
You see Malice doing a nice job. Spots Kenby. They've got great vision on the setup of this, but Jimmy did pop the ult.
Just engage, spots him out, down to 50%. Do they want to get to the pit? A little bit of damage on a copy, but that's going to be a huge equalizer inside of the pit, cutting off the members of Cloud9, but nobody can fall off. There's the bullet time, but there's going to be the flash in for Winsome, but he will sacrifice his life, hopefully, so all the members of Cloud9 can survive.
And King Malice insta-flash over the wall. No fight to be had, but again, important enough for C9. They do get the objective, Mad Max.
Yes.
The fact they only drop their support, we'll see how much 100 Thieves can get in return as Kenvy's going for the invade. He's looking for Malice.
He wants it, he's hunting, and he's got the damage. Just kills him immediately. Now King is the next target. Requiem comes out with the Feather Storm as well to get a little bit of damage traded back and forth, but Kenby, barely does he die to King.
Really nice Q from King as Kenby gets a little bit over-aggressive to tower shots. The Requiem, he goes down, and that's important because Mad Magical, he held the Rift Herald. If he stays alive, they drop Shelly, and they take this first brick for free. The fact that Kenby's traded out, really important for King, as we are going to hop into a replay, take another look. I really like that 100 Thieves, just waiting, buying their time. And even though that ult gets canceled for the MF, it's still so much damage going down. They force the double flash and hit themselves the window to make the play that they tried to take bottom lane. It was positive, just not quite able to take that first brick and be the huge play that 100 Thieves were looking for to break open this one.
But I also think that it was great out of Cloud9, because I was even going to ask you, what is their win condition in this game when you have a Karthus, but you have the double... Yeah, they've got dragons, and so it answers it. I don't even get to ask you that question, because Cloud9 answered it for me.
I think it's been really important that C9 picked up the first two Drakes, as Kenby, because he died, couldn't drop Shelly bot, had to drop at mid, and this is after plates. Yeah, good call, man, Magical. So, will be Shelly getting the crash.
Maybe, or not.
Ooh,
Nicely done by Copy to make sure that that is wasted.
Nicely done by Winsome. The grand entrance, just buying time. It made sure that Shelly couldn't prep that charge. That's, not huge, but still pretty big.
Heads up. Heads up. I
C9,
respect it.
they continue to make plays to slow this game down and continue to buy themselves time. As honestly, they're only down at 1k gold, and when we think of what C9 wants to do, I think a lot of this is slowing the game down, playing towards Copy and sides. He is the one that has the CS lead, and again, Lucian with a Karthus in his back pocket that can be lethal in the side lanes for both Twisted Fate and Ornn. We'll see if 100 Thieves can play around that as this game goes on, and then how many more plays can 100 Thieves find in the next couple minutes? Because we talk so much about their powerful level 6. We've seen them get chunks. We've seen them find pressure, but we haven't seen them break this one open. And the fact that that's the case, big props go over to C9, but when does it change from props to C9 to, hey, we're going to start getting concerned about 100 Thieves moving forward?
especially because you look at Kenby. He is stacked right now in this game, but it's not like before when he was on Kindred. Essentially another marksman for the team.
He's gotta
He
go
is
in.
an assassin. He's got to go in. He's got to dive into the stacks line, and we've already seen that he can go too deep. Someone like King can kite him out and get him back underneath the skirt, far away from his entire squad.
You also see Darshan, setting up Poppy on the Lucian with the cards from the side. Then Darshan channeling his inner summit, rushing Hullbreaker, doing some work into this Ornn. He is mini though at the moment. We'll see if Kenby looking to posture. Both him and Malice have made their way up here.
Darshan has about halfway stacked up to Omega. Flashed away, but here's going to be the Destiny Gate open up too. And it's still not a kill. Gets the smash into the wall, loses one. Might be able to get back one with the Requiem. Will it pick up another kill? Jimmy is definitely dead. Poppy's on the other side, and he wants to chase this down. Darshan can't get on top of Kenby, though. He's got to be careful for Copy. He's the one looking for that angle, a little bit of a revenge. But with Lucio nearby, calling, Hughes, getting damage onto Kenby. Flash 2 for it, killed, and shut down by Darshan.
Huge turnaround from C9. It's off the back of Malice and Copy on the rotation to support Darshan, and they shut down the game plan 100 Thieves Academy.
Yeah, getting another kill for Malice, even if he died. It's great stuff for the side of Cloud9, and how much they fight back this fight. Looking at Darshan especially.
That flash from Darshan was huge. Dodged out on so much damage from the Kane, and then, of course, him going Mega. Just Jimmy and I feel like Jimmy and he can't step into the Karthus ring, or else he definitely goes down. But maybe if he's able to get that gold card off, that's how they pick up Darshan. As Copy taking advantage of Kane there. Kenby not quite slippery enough to get out of that one. And that will be kills. Big shutdown too. That Kane falling again. Now 6-3-0. He doesn't have any shutdowns to offer, but the fact that C9 have gotten 2 off him, pretty big deal. We have to return to the Dragon. Again, this is the strength, 100 Thieves composition. Fighting in this river is huge for them. See if they can make it work.
A lot of damage, but here comes the TP in from Darshan first. Gamsu hasn't channeled his just yet. There's a little bit of damage on a Winsome. There's going to be the Scuttle Crab taken by 100 Thieves before setting up the play. They still have Winsome, and there comes Gamsu. Now into the back line, getting a little bit of damage onto these members, but look at how low they've been taken, especially with this call of the Forge God, getting a double knock up, damage onto Malice, flash over the wall to be able to survive. They're trying to see if they can get that Veganar at least out of Darshan first, but then it's just zoning control.
Look at Wixie Boostio. They don't have their ultimates up quite yet, so I think that's why 100 Thieves are playing this one slow, and maybe that Ornhorn was a bit too preemptive from Gamsu because they couldn't chain it with the rest of their ultimates.
No, but now it is Cloud9 on the offensive. Here's going to be the equalizer to make sure they get their first Dragon of the game, but now they got to escape. Looking at Kenby and how aggressive he's playing. He wants that play. He's got the damage. Winsome's gone on the other side, but Kenby is the one hunting down the members of Cloud9. They've got a lot of damage on Kidrian, but he's still not dead. With the Requiem, Kenby goes barely into the trespass to survive and dodge away, but they've got a kill for a kill in the backline. Make it 3 total for Cloud9. Boostio couldn't get a retribution kill, and Gamsu finally finding one onto Karthus. That's not the game plan that 100 Thieves wanted. They are getting taken down in this fight, and they can continue to press aggressively.
And 100 Thieves, I feel like they just pulled the trigger too early in that team fight, man. Magical. The fact the Ornhorn came out before you could chain it with the equalizer or the bullet time, that was a great opportunity for 100 Thieves to wipe the fight. And C9, they held strong. They were the ones that kited back, were able to navigate, get their way out of this.
And look at this. Jimmy uses the gold card. Sure, they get this pick on Winsome, but he has very little mana. So when he ports in, he doesn't have the best defense to back up Kenby.
They just... Darshan bought too much space with the Mega in that choke. They weren't able to ever, get around, get an angle. Jimmy went a little bit too deep. He throws away his life. Kenby wasn't able to help clean things up. Really well played by Darshan that fight. He deserves massive credit for how he played that one out on the Gnar.
Oh, for sure. Literally saving that game for them.
Yes, he played that so well.
Perfect out of Darshan to make sure that they are fully back in this game. In fact, with a gold lead. The first time we've had it in this game, the Cloud9 are now the ones with a huge advantage. And look at where a lot of that gold is allocated to. It's a lot into Darshan, but also into King. 5-1 on this Xayah that was drafted against with Misfortune and Rumble to try to punish the lane phase. Sure, punish Winsome, but not King.
I just think 100 Thieves, I mean, I don't know how they can really compete with C9 in size, moving forward at this point of the game. And the fact that they, you have that when it's comp versus comp, and then you aren't able to, win these team fights, that's just going to make things really tough for 100 Thieves because now it's, where do they look? And C9 is something they do really well as a team, slowing down the map and playing out 3 lanes. Look at exactly how they're positioned now. You have Hullbreaker Gnar in the top lane. You have Poppy, who's accelerated on this Lucian, already at 2 items, just sticking around bot. And where can 100 Thieves make a play and break this? I think it's a really tough problem for them to solve. I would default to saying you gotta attack Copy, and that's where Kenvy's at the moment, but Copy backs off, plays this intelligently. Kenvy is spotted if he goes over that wall, and there's nothing 100 Thieves can do.
Plus, we're past that point of power for 100 Thieves, the 1 item that we were talking about before. Cloud9 are getting their own items. They've got 2 items for Malice, you've got 2 items for Copy, and you're nearly finished with the Muramana King.
No plays left as Kenvy.
Takes a lot of damage there from Copy, and even forced out of the jungle here trying to steal, which puts Jimmy in a bad position.
100 Thieves. I think it just makes the next couple dragon fights so important while they are still strong. Keep in mind, if they find a wipe, that can open up the Baron and can get themselves back in the game. They have every single team fight tool you could possibly imagine at their disposal. Given the fact they have a Rumble support this game, Mad Match will almost finish with the first item there over for Bucio. Looks to be a Proto Belt.
Right, and that's a little surprising to me, just because of the supportive style. I was expecting maybe something that can burn, like the Leandries I talked about. Of course, mana's not really that necessary for Rumble, but it's purely to just get that extra little bit of damage as support. But seems that Bucio instead wants the Proto Belt, wants to be able to rock it in, get that magic pen as well onto these members, since there's a fairly squishy composition from the side of C9.
We are 1 minute away from the upcoming dragon fight. I think important to note, Winsome, he doesn't have flash available in this next one, and he really got stymied in the last engage attempt by Jimmy. And I mean, that is tough for Baton to navigate. Winsome not able to do it in the last one and will not have flash available, making... Really, he is the engage factor for C9, and thus Darshan is able to get an angle. So that is one thing that might make this next fight a little bit more difficult for C9, but looking at the items, King's close to having that Muramana evolved. We'll have it in time for this dragon fight. That's a big spike for the Xayah, and really tough for 100 Thieves to deal with. I think they have to, utilize their range to make sure they get Xayah's ult early, and then maybe look for gold cards from there. I think that's going to be the strat for 100 Thieves, kind of what I diagnose going into this next fight, and we'll see if they can buy the space for them to enable themselves to do that, because at the moment, C9's done a beautiful job of getting river control, and 100 Thieves has no business finding themselves in this bot side river.
With only 10 seconds left until that Mountain Dragon spawns, it's a TP from Darshan early, forcing out the late TP from Gomsu into the mid lane. You get a little bit of damage on his King, but it is Cloud9 with disadvantage. They're the ones with control. They're forcing in 100 Thieves, but it could be a pick right there on the backline with that equalizer used. They've got a lot of damage, but there's going to be the call of Lord God with Jimmy and taking so low. Copy couldn't take him down with them, so they kite this one back. Darshan is about to go mega, flashing in, waiting it out. He flashed in, he's got the damage on top of him, and they first 2 down. They get 3 for Cloud9. 4 stats on the side in this fight. Cloud9, they've got the Baron now.
And C9 and Darshan are just rocking 100 Thieves Academy in these team fights, literally and figuratively, as the Gnar dishing the house over to 100 Thieves. Darshan's been the big difference maker for me in this game, and we're going to see it at full display in this fight. As I like the attempt from 100 Thieves. They're just trying to get the ult out of Xayah so they can engage from there. All of this is all right. They trade out Copy early, but they burn a lot to make this happen. It's ult from Kenvy, ult from Gomsu, and it's not the ult where you're syncing up Bullet Time and the Ornhorn. And Darshan, he's the one that steps up big. He hits the Mega. He takes down 3 members as he rocks Jimmy in the back half, and C9 utilized that to take the Baron, take the Dragon as they're at Soul Point, and C9 have broken this game wide open.
This veteran Darshan really is living up to that veteran status with how clean he's been playing. Honestly, there's a reason why a lot of people have talked about him, especially when matching up the top laners, looking at him as being one of the toughest matchups they ever have to face in Academy, because he has moments like this. 4-0-4 on Gnar. Both those fights that got Cloud9 into this position to have this lead was off the back of Darshan.
He's been fantastic in this game. Again, Darshan always feels like a consistent top-tier performer that we have in Academy. Doesn't matter what year it is, doesn't matter what champ he's on. Darshan, it feels like he is just a player that is able to deliver, utilizing that experience to the fullest in PG, trying to push his team to top 4, trying to push his team to game 2, where things are evened up. as 100 Thieves trying to change the pace of that, but at this point, it really feels like 100 Thieves are just past their spike. Yes, Ornn can help you a bit with the scaling. With the ornaments now coming in, we have one in the inventory for both Wixie and Kenvi, but I don't think it's enough. I mean, they just can't deal with Darshan. He is massive.
He's got 3 items completed. He's got a Randuin's Omen too for extra armor against Kenvi and Wixie, who built lethality. You're not really going to be able to cut through Gnar, especially once he goes Mega joins in with these fights, which they've been utilizing each time. Look at this. You go top lane, barely any damage comes in from Kenvi.
That's just a tickle, and that's the top inner turret falling. Darshan is chilling, waiting to max out that Mega Bar again, the right time. And it's C9 fully grouped up, looking to take down their first inhibitor turret.
And 100 Thieves, they try to go for a cheese composition here. Getting Kane into Malice, it did well in the early game. Same with that Rumble in the bot lane. But now, this is the Darshan Show! Highlight reel for days, baby, as he dives in by himself to set up Cloud9 to tie this series at 1 apiece, Cubby. This is off the back of a Mega Gnar as big as it can get.
And it was an explosive early game draft from 100 Thieves Academy. It just felt like they weren't able to make things work. A lot of credit to over to C9, their ability to stall out early games, to make sure they get to the point of the game where their comps are online. This is something that C9 is very, very good at. We saw it in full display in this one. C9 take the second one.
And they're patting the KDAs along the way as they get rid of Gomsu in the base. Copy's chasing down. He couldn't get that little bit of revenge, but it doesn't matter. Revenge is sweet enough when you take victory and tie up the series.
And I mean, I think that's a really important win for C9. I mean, not just the fact that, you know, you go down 0-2, but it does prove, you know, the Karthus pick, the draft they have around it. Again, Malice feels like he's that old school Season 2, Season 3 jungler where it's like, all right, I think this pick's the best. If not that one, then this one. If not that one, then this upcoming one I have. Karthus has been one of his better champions throughout the entire split. And the fact that, you know, he was able to pick up a win against this answer that Kenvi had, I think that it means that C9 can continue to build comps around this. I think another really important part of their composition was that the Rumble Flex, while it was creative, they took away that Gangplank and Darshan on the Gnar. I think that's where they really were able to get ahead in this draft and able to execute it a little bit better in this game as well.
It was just really good game state and gameplay from the side of Cloud9 when it came to grouping up as a team, as a cohesive unit, especially off the back of Darshan. Winsome, he was there, you know, he was trying to engage, but really, that's why I just have to praise. I cannot praise him enough. Zion Spartan, you know, teacher meme, blah, blah, blah. But Darshan was just fantastic in this game.
Hey, man, he's the president for a reason, right? I mean, that's outside of gameplay, but also, I mean, Darshan, just someone that, you know, all these guys love having on their team. He is someone that is a leader inside and outside of the game, and he definitely led with his gameplay in that one as his Gnar. Again, said coming into the day's series, 6-1. Now 7-2. Helped to pick up that big game 2 win and push us to what is a best of 3 scenario.
Not going to have any sweeps today, at least. Now we get ready for our third game. We're going to toss a break when we come back. I guess it's a quarter show that we'll do, whatever Kangas is calling it. But we'll be back with Kangas. Make sure you stay tuned.